BABYMETAL is a group that talks about wanting to spread positivity and wanting to inspire young people and women. And so it feels pretty hypocritical that they have decided to work with a bigot like Alex Terrible. Alex, if you didn't know, used to be a Nazi, and in fact, he and his band Slaughter to Prevail were actually banned from touring Europe back in 2015. Following that, he would cover the Nazi tattoo on his elbow, and years later, he would state that, yeah, he was being stupid. He was a dumb and angry kid when he joined that Nazi gang, and that's not him anymore, that he's grown up now. But his words and his actions don't really reflect that of someone who has grown. I feel like when you do something as bad as be a Nazi, you should feel some remorse. You should try to atone for the things that you've done and try to undo some of the harm that you've caused. Maybe denounce Nazism, speak out against it, talk about its dangers and how we can combat it. But, Alex doesn't do any of that. It's probably because the guy doesn't actually regret his actions. I mean, he says that himself in an interview from 2023. He said that he doesn't regret the things that he's done because ultimately they led to the beautiful life that he lives now, which is crazy. I mean, when you hurt people, when you cause harm, when you are a Nazi, you should regret that, even if you live a good life. And even now, you can go to his merch store and you can buy merch with Nazi symbols on them. And some people will say that, these symbols are not exclusive to Nazism, but I mean, they're still present day fascist symbols. They're still used in that context. I feel like if you truly wanted to distance yourself from your Nazi past, you would simply not use symbols co opted by Nazis. In 2025, when Nazism is like back on the rise, I mean, it just shows how little this guy cares. He's also made some anti-LGBTQ statements, and when called out for them, he would say that, he has traditional values, and if you don't like that, if you want to cancel him, fuck you. He's also worked with Ronnie Radke. They put out a song together last year, and Ronnie is a huge bigot. I mean, the guy has been banned from some social medias for some of the racist and transphobic things that he said. I mean, this is the kind of company that Alex likes to keep. This is who he likes to work with. In my mind, true growth is understanding that you can make mistakes, that you're capable of being wrong, that your knowledge and your perspective are limited, but that you can learn. You can expand your horizons and change the way you do things. To me, these are the people that deserve to have platforms, not bigots like Alex and Ronnie. People who, when they say and do hateful things and get called out for it, they get angry and they get defensive and they call you sensitive. That's a word they use a lot, sensitive. They say people are being overly sensitive, but what exactly is sensitive about wanting respect? What is sensitive about wanting you to just not be an asshole? I mean, is that not normal? Is that not human? Aren't dignity and respect basic and inalienable human rights? And what about them? They get so angry when they get called out for this thing. I mean, aren't they the ones who are being overly sensitive? I know that, most people simply don't care about any of this. And to those people, what is important to y'all? What would cause you to not want to support an artist anymore, and why is your line there? Why don't you think that this stuff is important? Because to me, this stuff it's a pretty big deal. And again, that's why it's so crazy to me that BABYMETAL has decided to not only associate with, but work with a guy that is, at worst, a straight up Nazi, and at best, a former Nazi and current bigot who doesn't regret his actions, doesn't take accountability. Baby Metal has a song about anti-bullying. They have songs about forging ahead and getting through inner conflict. And their anthem, Road of Resistance, it's a song about standing up and fighting for what's right and justice forever. But I fail to see the justice here. What exactly is being stood up for here? What am I supposed to understand from this? Because I'll tell you what I get, right? As a fan, to me, this just, it's hypocritical. It's spineless. It makes their words and lyrics feel empty. I know that Baby Metal will never ever speak up on issues, right? They'll never speak out on things because they don't want to alienate anyone. But like, that's so counter to their messaging. Stand for something. Don't work with the bigot. If that alienates anyone, then so be it. I mean, that's what it means to stand for something. We don't know what the conversations were like when this was greenlit. We don't know who has power here to make decisions, who has agency. We don't know any of that. But frankly, it doesn't really matter because ultimately this is happening and I feel like it just shouldn't. I mean, straight up, I feel like this should just be canceled. But I mean, that's just my opinion. If you are a concerned Baby Metal fan and you want to voice those concerns, please, I encourage you. On social media, they have, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Reddit, Discord. Voice your concerns. Let them know how you feel about this. I would really love to know where Baby Metal stand. What is it that they actually believe in? What do they actually stand for? What do all of the words that they say? What do they all mean to them? Because this just it's gross and it's disappointing.